Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that you all continue to feel well. I hope maybe we'll be able to reopen the shul this coming week. We'll see. Amir Tzushin. The centerpiece of this week's parsha, naturally, is the Aseret HaDvarim, the Ten Commandments. There's a very interesting difference of opinion amongst the Meforshim as to whether the first commandment is Anochi Hashem Elokecha, Asher Hotzeisicho Meretz Mitzrayim Mibeis Avodim. In other words, is Anochi a commandment? And if it is a commandment, what kind of commandment is that? Or whether Anochi is just a statement, it's a preface, it's a prelude. Why are there going to be 10 commandments? Why are there going to be Aseret HaDvarim? Why am I going to tell you anything? So first you have to know who's telling it to you and why he's telling it to you. So Anochi Hashem Elokecha, I am the Lord your God. That's who's telling it to you. And the reason that I'm telling it to you, so to speak, exclusively, even though we discussed this yesterday in broader terms, but basically I'm giving it to you, the Jewish people, because Asher Hotzeisicho Meretz Mitzrayim, because I'm the one that took you out of Egypt. I'm the one that has the special relationship with you. You are my avodim, you're my servants. And therefore, that's why I'm instructing you. This is how I want you to behave. This is the type of life that I want you to lead. So we have here two different views completely as to what Anochi Hashem Elokecha is. Is it the first of the commandments? Now, basically, the majority of the commentators treat it that way. And it's treated that way throughout Jewish tradition. And basically, if you look at the representation of the luchot, which exists in synagogues all over the world, you'll always see that Anochi is written as the first commandment. So what kind of commandment is that? Anochi Hashem Elokecha. So again, the Meforshim explain that the commandment is that a Jew should feel the presence of Hashem, so to speak, constantly in one's life and actions, in world events, and in the private life that a person has. You should know, Anochi, I'm here. Anochi is like Ani Khan. I'm here, I'm present. I'm a reality. I'm a force. So both Rashi and the Rambam treat Anochi as a commandment. And therefore, that explains why it says, Asher Hotzeisicho Meretz Mitzrayim. While the Meforshim say, why didn't they say, Asher Barosi Shamayim V'Oretz? We created the universe. But he wanted to have the direct relationship to the Jewish people. The direct relationship to the Jewish people comes through Asher Hotzeisicho Meretz Mitzrayim, not through the general universe, which encompasses everything, encompasses nature and the animal kingdom, and other nations in the world. It's not exclusively Jewish, so to speak. So Anochi is a tzivui, it's a commandment. Know that I'm here. I command you to realize that I'm here. And it's a tzivui because we have no way of representing, so to speak, in a physical form. That's why the next commandment is lo yeh lecha. And the commandment is not to make a form or any physical representation of Hashem. So therefore, Anochi must be viewed as a commandment, since there's no other way for us to transmit this idea to you. You know, all dictators, even people who are not dictators, but all dictators have their pictures on display throughout their country. You go down the list of all of them. There are many things they have in common, but this certainly is one of the things they have in common. So that wherever you are, Big Brother is watching you. His picture is there, he's looking at you. And therefore you have to be constantly aware of his presence. That doesn't exist by us. In fact, the whole question of photography and photos and pictures has been discussed in halacha when it first came into being in the 19th century, whether one could allow a picture to be taken of a person, or whether a person should submit oneself to have portraits in photography taken. So the poskim have come out, it's almost unanimous that there's no problem. It's only two-dimensional. It's not real. We accept it, we hardly think of it. But the ubiquitous nature of photography, especially today, everybody has a camera on one's phone, everything is photographed. Ron Shalom is not to be photographed. And there were many pious Jews that throughout their entire lives attempted to avoid being photographed, because that somehow they felt that impinged on the uniqueness of the person and on the fact that we are at Tzelem Elokim. We're created, so to speak, in the image of God. And if we're created in the image of God, then we shouldn't take a picture of ourselves. So Anochi becomes a commandment. It has to become a commandment because of the fact that you have to always be aware that the Rebbeinu Shalom is here with you, that it's his world, that we are subject to his rule. Therefore, that's why it is a commandment, it's a tzivui. The Rambam holds that it's a mitzvah to know that. One of the Taryag mitzvahs. Ladas, to know it. To know it intellectually and emotionally and in any way possible. Now, Rabbeinu Sadia Gaon, in his commentary to Chumash, we have fragments of it. Wein Mincha wrote basically in Arabic, which was the lingua franca of his time and his place. He does not count Anochi as being one of the 10 commandments. He begins with Lo Yiyeh Lecha, and then there's a little Sishtachav Elohem. But Anochi is not one of the 10. When we combine Lo Yiyeh Lecha, Lo Sishtachav Elohem, we combine them. At the end, it always comes out 10, no matter which way you want to follow this idea. But Rabbi Mincha says that Anochi is only a preface. It's a prelude. Because he explains that otherwise the other 9 don't make any sense. Why should I not take yours? When everything in the world, the animal kingdom and etc., everybody's taking what is not theirs. There are animals that live off the fact that they're able to steal the kills that other animals made. So why should I say no signal? Why should man be different, right? Whoever has power, kol yolim gvar. Whoever has strength and power can take. And a lot of human beings feel that way. And the Torah says no. So on what basis does the Torah say no? So the Anochi Hashem Elokecha is the prelude to all of these mitzvahs, to all of the other commandments that exist. The reason that there are commandments is because the preface, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, Asher Otzeisicha Meretz Mitzrayim. So then it applies to all of the commandments. So I can, since Anochi is the preface, then everything has to fit into that preface, has to fit into the framework. So I can therefore tell you about Shabbos and about Kibbutz Avim and about the Gneva and about Ritzicha or false testimony, all of the various aspects of the Aseret Advarim. It only makes sense because of the preface. What I find interesting is that, the Aseret Advarim was taken over by the non-Jewish world as well. The idea of the 10 Commandments, the replicas of the 10 Commandments, etc. Just as an interesting aside, that in the United States Army or Navy, the Jewish chaplain had a badge that identified him as a Jewish chaplain. That badge was the luchot, the 2 tablets of stone, the 10 Commandments, was not a Jewish star. Even though the 2 tablets of stone, the Aseret Advarim, was taken over in the Christian world as well. But in the Christian world, Anochi is not a mitzvah. It's not the first of the commandments. So to speak, lahavdol elef havdolos, it follows the idea of Rabbi Mincha that it is only a prelude, a preface, but it's not a commandment by itself. So it is interesting to note this, and it's interesting to note that there should be different streams of understanding something which is so basic, which is the core of Jewish belief, which was Maimon Har Sinai and the Aseret Advorim themselves. Thank you very much. There's a shiur at 6 o'clock in the Parsha, and Saturday night there's a lecture at 8 o'clock. Everyone should stay well, and Emir Hashem will see each other soon in person. Kol Tov Selah.